This is the Extra Mile.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Extra Mile. I'm Justin, and I'm here with the G5. Hey, George.
Hey, man.
You look really comfortable.
I always try to look comfortably.
I kind of feel like I should lie down on the couch and tell you my problems. And we're here with Caleb. Hey, Caleb.
Hey.
Thanks for everything you do, Caleb.
You're welcome.
Oh, man. So what's been going on, Justin?
Oh, I've been busy. We've got the Lion King here at our buddy Holly Hall.
Yeah.
And I was involved with the technical load-in last week, so I was just at the theater from dawn to dusk. But it's fun. That's one of the reasons why you do it is, or why people would ever get excited to do theater work is to kind of set up the magic act, you know? And I saw that production when I was 16. It's an amazing spectacle. And for those of us who grew up with a cartoon, it's got most of that music. And then there's additional music as well, like adult contemporary African music. I think it's Lebo K or Lebo M, I think is his name. But as a choral person, it's really intriguing because it's like African music. And so the singing in the musical production is just fantastic. Yeah. And then you add on top of that the spectacle and then the technical elements of all of the wagons that, you know, roll all over the stage and the different lighting positions. So cool. And so I'm an electrician on those calls, and so we're in charge of putting the lights up and making sure all the electrical elements are working. So.
I remember seeing the commercial on TV, The Lion King coming to town, and asking Emmy, my daughter, "You want to go see that?" I kind of want to go see it. I was like, "You want to go see it?" And they're all like doing their dancing and things like that, and Emmy's like, Nah.
You should take her to see it.
She's like,
You should take her
I'm like,
to see
that's
it.
the Lion King.
It's an amazing spectacle.
Yeah.
Like, wow. I think Samuel's going to go today.
Oh, how long is it?
The show, it's like 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Okay.
But it's amazing dancing. I mean, it's really famous for the fact that it was one, and I can't remember her name, but she was the main designer. She directed it and choreographed it and came up with a costume design.
Did it start off as a play or a movie? Or
it was the movie first.
It was a movie first.
And then they adapted it for the stage. Yeah.
It's one of my favorite Disney movies. It's so good.
Have you seen it? The stage play?
Oh, no. I was going to be like, I was going to give a sarcastic response.
No. The stage play. Have you seen the stage play?
No, I have not seen the stage play.
You should go see it.
Okay.
It's an amazing spectacle. Well, especially while it's here.
Yeah.
The tickets are expensive, but it's worth it.
It's worth it.
It is worth it.
Wow.
100%. It is literally my favorite musical, probably.
What?
Yeah.
Of all the musicals,
yeah.
It's your favorite musical?
Yeah.
Really?
It's just because the amount of, literally the amount of effort that has gone into making it a production.
That's why?
And to keep it
behind
running.
Behind the scenes, not the...
Well, no. Like the actual, once again, when I was 16, I saw it in Dallas when it was on tour, and it's amazing. It's breathtaking. Everything from the choreography, and it was funny because some of my buddies who were doing the show calls, they have a rehearsal. So like the cast, the drama is that they were in Monterrey, Mexico with the tour, and so when they tried to cross the border, they couldn't get across, you know, because our borders are, I don't know, but when you've got 21 18-wheelers, and apparently they have from what I've heard is that they have a thing where if one of them doesn't get across the border, none of them get across the borders. Like really? they wait. They don't leave a man behind. And so it's 21 18-wheelers worth of stuff.
Wow.
Huge show. And then they cast buses and their cars and stuff like that.
That's a crazy train.
So then they crossed the border finally, and they actually had to cancel a show because they couldn't get across. There was a delay. And so they delayed the load in. And then it took 4 days to load in. Typically, these Broadway shows take 8 hours to load in, and not 4 days.
Wow.
So that's just put it into context of how much stuff there was. And there's like 121 chain motor points for those of you who are technical theater and you're like a rigger, and you understand what that means. So it's a huge show loading in. And things are moving constantly. And so, you know, there I am backstage, and there's Pumbaa, the costume. And it's like, wow, that's cool. And
to put it on?
No. Not that's definitely not allowed. But I did stare at it very closely, and it's really cool to see things that I saw as a kid, and then to see it up close. But then to professionally be involved in like loading it in and making sure that it's right. And how that works is I work for the IATSE union, and every time you see a movie, the credits are rolling, and you wait to the very, very, very end, and there's all these little insignias. At the bottom, there's like the oval one, that's the World Cinema Group or whatever. And then there's a 5-pointed star. That's IATSE, the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees.
Oh.
And so there's the local here, the 865, that they hire me as an electrician to do tie-ins. And
So you get to be a part of the whole connection and making the magic happen.
Yeah, so that's what they hire me to do, and it's a cool gig, and I like those guys, and it's a lot of fun to be the local hands that then the tour guys come in, and they're actually running the show. We're just the labor, and so they're the ones that are like, plug that in there, and we're like, okay, and we plug it in, and so bring that over there and strap that and tie that. So it's really, if you ever wanted to do theater work, it's literally just tying shoelace knots over and over and over again. That's really what you do. Soft goods, like all the curtains, you hang all the curtains and just shoelace knots.
Because it's all have a job.
Yeah, and it was like an 80-person call, so it generates a lot of work for people whenever those shows come in. So, but yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun. That's to be a part of that magic because it's such a spectacle,
right?
And I'm assuming it's what it would be like if you ever worked a magic show, where you kind of see all of the gears and all the equipment and how it all works. It's really intriguing. Whereas if it's just like a musical, you just, okay, here's your stuff, here's your lights, there's your 2 or 3 chairs that you use, and all right, you're good to go. And that doesn't take very long to load in. But this one is very complicated, so it was kind of fun to do that.
Pour me another cup of coffee.
Sure. Sorry, I've bored you all.
Do something for me now.
We need chemical stimulants.
Yeah.
For those of you, we typically talk about the Bible here on the podcast. We welcome you to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're not listening, start listening and tell your friends. You want to warm up? Do you want to warm up? Then I'm going to drink the rest of it. You sure?
Yeah.
Here we go. If you're not happy, here it is.
Wait, no, I'm kidding.
There's still some left.
It's okay.
Oh,
That's awesome.
Nope, there's the drugs.
The other day, not BuzzFeed, the conservative version of BuzzFeed, or Buzzsprout, Buzz whatever. What is that? What's the...
BuzzFeed.
Is it BuzzFeed?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay,
so.
yeah. Is it BuzzFeed?
Buzzsprout is our podcast
Buzzsprout.
aggregator or something.
So many. What's the conservative Christians?
Babylon
satire? Babylon Bee.
Yeah.
Wow, so many bees everywhere. Bees. Buzzsprout, Babylon Bee. You know? Okay, that's fine.
Sorry, I've been in a theater without my phone. We're not allowed to have our phones, by the way.
They had a quiz where it was like, which body part are you of the church? And then you just took a quiz, and it was kind of funny actually.
I feel like I'm the earwax.
Yeah. Well, I was the eyebrow. I was like, no one knows how important you are till you're gone.
What on earth? That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Should do a sermon on that one. I'm the eyebrow of our congregation.
I think Justin should take it right now.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, you
Here,
should.
send it to me. Did you see that image? It was very clever. It's for a dentist, and it shows this family picture, and there's this guy dead center, and he's missing a tooth. And he goes, if you didn't think that dentistry is important and you notice the guy without a tooth, you also didn't notice that his wife is missing an eyebrow.
Oh.
And it's true. Then you read the thing and you look at, oh, she is missing an eyebrow. And your eye goes to this black hole in this dude's face. Not that missing a tooth is bad. It's just, it was a point of, subliminally, that's exactly what people do. Mm. What part of the body of Christ are you? Take the quiz. Great. Okay, we're just going to do this. Y'all are going to wait in silence while I do this.
While he's taking the quiz.
Okay, well, Caleb has better ideas.
Last weekend, we went on a short trip to Albuquerque to see the Hot Air Balloon Festival.
Oh, dude.
That's
also
fun.
That's awesome.
Super highly recommend if y'all have never been before.
I've never been.
I hate Albuquerque, but the balloon festival sounds awesome.
It was wild. There were 80,000 people there.
Yeah.
They had 550 balloons take off almost at the same time. Yeah, it was crazy. You would look up at the sky, and it was not sky; it was just balloons, and it was a really cool experience. But one of my favorite parts about traveling is that if you do it over a weekend or a Wednesday or something, you get to visit hopefully a congregation, and we usually try to plan around that to make sure that there's a local congregation in the area. We visited one. It was the Sandia Church of Christ over there, and I'm so bad with names, so forgive me. I'm not going to remember any of the names, but they had a visiting preacher there because the other preacher was out of town for a lesson series somewhere else. And these two people, 5 months out of the year, travel the whole U.S., and he helps preach at congregations that don't have like a dedicated preacher.
Wow.
But as we started talking, my favorite game to play is like the name game of like, hey, well, you've been here before. Do you know so-and-so? And it was just a cool experience because it's like big world, small family.
Yeah.
And, or small world, big family. I said that the opposite way, but making the connections because he was like really good friends with some people that I know in Dallas that are related to my best friend. And it was just like connections on connections on connections of like, you know, God's family. So it was just cool experience. But overall, highly recommend Albuquerque this time of year because it was.
Do you know why
really cool.
Albuquerque is the place for the balloon?
I don't know how it started.
Did you get to go in the balloon?
Well, we looked into that when we were booking the experience like 9 months ago. Crazy expensive to do it during the festival. If you don't do it during the festival, it's reasonably cheap. But Julie also has an absolute fear of heights.
Oh, man.
And I don't have a fear of heights, but after we were done with the festival, there have been multiple crashes. Like all these people posting online in Albuquerque of the balloons like landing in their backyard or landing in the middle of a road, or the one where they had a race. This is the coolest part about it. They have a race where it starts in Albuquerque. They go up in the air, way, way up in the sky, and they just go where the wind takes them. Currently, the race is still going.
What?
And it's in Louisiana. So they flew from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and they're going into Louisiana.
I love that.
But one of them crashed in, it's a town just south of Dallas. I can't remember what it was. And they hit power lines. So after all of this, I'm like, you know what?
Are they dead?
No, they're okay. They're okay. They're in the hospital, but they're okay.
Oh.
But after all of this, I was like, I don't really know if I ever want to go up in a hot air balloon. But those are safer. Like they
Just
have a tour
around
group that
fuel.
literally goes up in the air and
I
then
love
back
that.
down. But it was really cool.
One of my favorite quotes is Napoleon looking across the strait at England. He's like, if only I could take a hot air balloon and drop bombs on them.
Oh.
And it's like,
He
something
used
to that
hot-
effect. I'm paraphrasing. But
He used hot air balloons.
yeah.
to
He just is like,
overlook the
if
field.
only. He's like, I'm coming for you type idea. And I'm going to use any technology possible at this time. Yeah, I'd love to go in a hot air balloon and just get a feeling of what it was like to be like quote unquote flying from a 19th 20th century perspective.
And no motor.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Nothing.
I
You're
would
just
throw up.
sitting there in the air. Like I think it would be so cool.
Yeah, I would too.
I
We'll have to go then. We'll have
Yeah,
to go.
me and George will go.
I
Sorry,
would be
Julie.
glad to go up in a tall building.
I love that.
That's it.
Okay, that's great. Yeah.
We don't have any here in Lubbock. by the way.
No. What's the tallest building you've ever been in?
I've ever been in the Sears, not the Sears Tower, the John Hopkins
John Hopkins.
Tower in Chicago.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
I don't know.
Hancock.
Hancock.
The Hancock building in
Oh, okay.
Chicago.
Okay.
The one with the two towers, not the Chicago Tower.
Mm-hmm.
The Sears Tower. What am I saying?
I don't know.
I was a freshman in college. We went on a tour to Illinois and Indiana, and we went to Chicago, and I went out in the Hancock building. That's the tallest building I've ever been in. Well, I've been on the Eiffel Tower, the top of the Eiffel Tower.
Oh well, that's pretty awesome.
Is that taller? I don't know.
know. It was the tallest.
Still cool though.
The tallest point or structure, right? At one
Very
point?
cool architecture. Have you seen the Lego of that?
No, but I would
I
like
want
to.
it.
Yeah.
You want the yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But I want all the Legos.
apparently I'm the nose.
Oh, hey.
So what's the definition?
You stick out a bit, and you're great at locating freshly baked treats at the potluck. I feel like with my nose, that's exactly what I am. Stick out a bit.
Stick out of that.
The questions were a bit leading.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the choices were a bit leading.
I love some of the questions.
I felt like I was being railroaded.
Episcopalian, what's that? That was my favorite.
The,
But you'll have
the preacher is like 5 minutes before services, calls you and says he has a family emergency. Can you fill in? What do you do? And I take out the 3-hour dissertation I've prepared over cessationism.
That does sound like you.
Yeah.
Anyway, are y'all going to do the solar eclipse this weekend?
Oh, so I almost bought glasses online, but they're just expensive, and I know.
What?
Yeah.
On Amazon?
Yeah.
They're like $2 or $3.
Oh, well, I'm going to be on a boat in the middle of the ocean. And so
You'll miss it.
I mean, I'll be able to probably still see it because we're going to be in the Gulf, but
Well,
I don't know. Are you doing it?
yes, I'm taking my family to Midland
Oh,
because
that'd
the
be cool.
total Ring of Fire is going to go through Midland, Odessa.
Yeah.
So we're going to go. I think I might go to the Wagner Noel and just sit in the parking lot. We'll find a place.
That would be really cool.
A partial eclipse is really close to Lubbock, but I don't think Lubbock it might get that much darker.
Yeah.
In Lubbock, but the total Ring of Fire, I'm really excited to see that. And then there's a total solar eclipse in April that's going through my hometown. Nice. So I'll just go home. But knowing my luck, it'll be cloud coverage. Both times.
It is supposed to be a little cloudy on Saturday.
Great.
But
That's my luck.
yeah.
Man.
But that's okay. It's like 5 minutes or 5 to 10 minutes and it'll get dark. So I've always wanted to see it, because in the telling of the crucifixion that there was an eclipse.
Yeah.
That the sun became, I don't know if it was an eclipse, but it says that the sun became dark.
Yeah.
And so I assume it was an eclipse. But I've always wanted to see it, just to see what that looks like, where it's daytime, it's nighttime, and then it's daytime again. Because of the moon casting a shadow.
Huh.
It's really cool.
That is really cool. I always love that stuff.
Does that not, I always, when I think about space and I think of the celestial bodies moving in orbit, how terrifying that is. Like, it's almost megalophobia, where you start thinking way outside of the scope of, like, we're this big, and then you're talking about these planetary bodies that are umpteenth times larger than you, and they're all moving very fast, and they all have gravity that they're so large. Ugh.
Oh, man. I think it's so fascinating.
I'm getting nauseous.
I love it. I just think of Wall-E and them, like, in shooting, dancing in outer space amongst the
With the blue
stars.
Danube waltz.
Yeah, that'd be ideal for me. Great.
Have
Dance.
you read The Martian? Or seen it?
I've seen The Martian, yes.
In the moment where he's like trying to traverse a distance, he's like, I'm going to be Rocket Man. And he shoots it. Anyway, I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, it would be fun.
It's a great book, by the way.
Is it?
We have to tie all of this back to the Bible.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure out how to do that. And, I mean,
I've only thought of one thing. So
I've thought of a couple, but it's been hard to, like,
let's
without
turn
it
this.
obviously go. Well, now it is so
Yep.
obvious. We might as well just go.
Switch.
I don't know. I was just thinking, we all have a place, in. Yeah, that's what you're thinking
That
too.
was exactly
yeah, I mean,
what
we
I was
all
thinking.
have a job and a place.
You're the eyebrow.
in the kingdom. Yeah, I'm the eyebrow. You're the nose. You put together stuff for musicals, and we were talking about musicals too. Just how God puts everything. Amazing how it all kind of works together from beginning to end. It's all gonna flow, and we're just here doing our jobs. Sometimes we know, and sometimes we don't know. But the know, I think, from a Christian perspective, that we play a role and a part, and is pretty encouraging. It's like, hey, God is using me. I think of 1 Corinthians 7 before we close. This is in context-ish, but I still think it's encouraging. 1 Cor 7 tells us, nevertheless, as the Lord has assigned to each one, as God has called each person, so must he live. And I give this sort of direction to all the churches. And so, whatever, however our life is planned out or played out and what we're doing, we can be obsessed by wanting to obtain more wealth. We can be obsessed by wanting to attain more status and things like that. But just to be happy that I'm playing a role here. How does is it Walt Whitman says something to the effect of just be happy that not that you're just actors on a stage, but that you get to contribute a verse or something to the effect. That may be in the Dead Poets Society, but
Wow.
I thought that was pretty neat. That we just get to contribute a verse, and there you go. There's my theology on what we just talked about.
You can contribute a verse.
Are you fact checking me?
No, "Oh Me, Oh Life" by Walt Whitman. You're right.
Okay, cool.
That's cool.
What does it say?
"O me, O life, of the questions of these recurring, of the endless trains of the faithless, of cities filled with the foolish, of myself forever reproaching myself, for who more foolish than I, and who more faithless? Of eyes that vainly crave the light, of the objects mean, of the struggle ever renewed, of the poor results of all, of the plodding and sordid crowds I see around me, of the empty and useless years of the rest, with the rest me intertwined. The question, O me, O sad recurring, what good amid these, O me, O life? Answer, that you are here, that life exists, and identity, that the powerful play goes on, and you may contribute a verse."
The powerful play goes on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Way to go, Walt. Uncle Walt.
Yeah, people just have also talent and the skill, and whether they thought it'd be used for good or not good, or
I guess it's your
it'd
choice.
be great.
You have to. Are you going to be a bad nose? One that needs to be punched?
A bad eyebrow,
Are you going to be shaved
very dark, thick eyebrow.
off? Slowly turning gray?
Yeah. You'll have to take the quiz now, and everyone else out there, let us know.
I just did.
What
are you?
And I had a really hard time keeping myself together and not laughing at the answer choices while y'all were talking about it, because it's pretty entertaining. I'm the elbow.
Oh, that's nice.
You help make things happen and are prone to tendinitis.
And that's why you're back here managing all the camera equipment as our producer. He's making the magic happen, guys. And with that, go so. If you want to know more about the Bible or you have any questions, our email is in the description below. You can DM us. We'd love to hear from you. And if you're looking for a church family or you're in the Lubbock area, we invite you to come visit and hang out with us in Milwaukee. We love for you to find a church who practices the love of Christ.